I just try and show up for my clients at the end of the day. And that's it. If they see the financing side of me, because call me a math guy, like I love my numbers. So if you need me to be the numbers person, I'm going to be that. I feel like I have a lot of compassion and empathy, and I could be there in that moment too. So I think those skills just maybe naturally come out and speak, and I don't necessarily need to back it up, say, with my
just shows
financing
up.
Or anything like that. Yeah.
Now I know on the ALC next year, Trevor's going to be on that. So now I know who's going to be like our finance chair for sure.
Need a spreadsheet? Call me.
We're going to be doing some hard math.
I love it.
When I set a vision in my life and I look at my faith, my family, my business, my health, my wealth, I want other people in these real stories to hear the real stories of that journey.
I have everything that I've wanted, like in terms of family life, beautiful wife, making good money, and like my world's upside down right now in my head.
God is so good. He shows us his hands. Like people think miracles are like someone being instantly healed. It's so much more than that. They can be the smallest things where he shows his goodness in your life.
If you think of something and you believe it and you see it in your mind, it's meant for you. Go chase it.
See you in the next episode of Real Stories. Today, I get to sit down with someone who brings a rare combination of global perspective, business strategy, and genuine heart into the world of real estate. Someone who has lived abroad, studied international business, built companies, navigated high-pressure negotiations, and now uses all of that expertise to help people build wealth through real estate. Trevor Paterson is a seasoned professional with a niche background in both business and real estate. Born in Port Perry, he has spent most of his time in the Durham region. After studying and living abroad, he completed a bachelor degree in international business strategy, developing a deep understanding of global markets, negotiation, and economic trends. At just 22, Trevor returned home and stepped into an entrepreneurial journey alongside his mom. Together, they built and managed more than 15 successful restaurants across Ontario. That experience shaped him, sharpening his work ethic, his attention to detail, and the natural ability to communicate and problem solve. And then from there, he transitioned into commercial financing, spending 4 years with the Business Development Bank of Canada during COVID-19, during the pandemic. He helped hundreds of small businesses secure financing through one of the most challenging and stressful economic periods we've ever had in recent history. Today, Trevor brings all of that experience into real estate, pairing the strategic mind with the genuine passion to help people. He's known for his kindness, integrity, and his incredible ability to break down complex decisions so that clients feel confident and supported every step of the way. Outside of business, Trevor is a true sports enthusiast. Golf, hockey, squash, tennis, and baseball. You name it, he's in it. He brings all of that same energy, discipline, and team-first mentality into the way that he serves his clients. I'm excited to unpack the real story behind this business strategy, global perspective enthusiast, and all that he's learned along the way. Please welcome Trevor Paterson to the Real Stories podcast. So let's go back to the start, little Trevor days.
Okay.
What was life like growing up in Port Perry?
I had a very, very good childhood. I was very fortunate. Played a lot of sports, did a lot of traveling when I was a kid. So my parents gave me a really, really good life. I'm very fortunate for that. Port Perry also gave me, I really had this like small town feel that I don't think will ever leave me. I've lived abroad, I've lived in larger cities, and I've always felt like I've wanted to shrink it down and have a community behind me, and knowing, like, it's not that knowing everything about everyone's business is like nice, but that's what I'm used to. And that's how I grew up. And all of my friends that I'm currently still friends with, I've been friends with since I was 5 years old. So,
wow.
That's like really special. A lot of us are, getting married, having kids. So, I'm like very fortunate and very blessed to be raised in Port Perry and raised the way I was.
So what experiences shaped who you became? I guess you could reflect on the small town being raised there, but also you said you traveled a lot.
Yeah, so I majored in Spanish in university. I have an international business degree, majored in Spanish. Did 1 year abroad in Chile and studied in Spanish there. So did 12 months in Chile. Spent a little bit of time in Peru afterwards as well, and did some traveling all through South America. Like, always hear it. I don't need to say it for people to know that traveling definitely, broadens your views and gives you a different view. I was 21 at that time, so obviously you're a little immature and you're still trying to figure things out when you're 21. And when I came back, it felt like I definitely had that maturity that I was looking for. Maybe not to the full extent, but that was that has to be the biggest life-changing thing for me.
You said you were raised by a family, like you think they did a great job raising you. So are there pieces of that I guess your family, did they have an impact on your work ethic and the way that you approach business today?
Like 1,000%. My parents are two of the most hardworking people I've seen it since day one. My mom was vice president of Hewlett Packard, waking up every single day, going to Toronto, flying to India, flying to Vancouver, doing all this stuff, but never missed a hockey practice, never missed a hockey game. Still put us in all the extracurriculars, all the clubs, everything. I never realized that as a kid, how much effort and sacrifice my parents made. Obviously now I do. And it's like, I just can't thank them enough. Like I would, if I could give my kids a 10th of the childhood I had, I think they're going to have a great childhood.
I love that. And selfishly, I'm asking you these questions.
Yes. Yes.
Like, okay, you turned out good. What can I do?
Thanks.
When you grew up, did you travel, or was that more just when you were 21 and left? Did your family travel, or?
We did do we just did family vacations.
Okay.
We didn't do a lot of, it just depends how you define travel. Like we just did, we did resort vacations, and it was always like my parents one time. And now I know it's like, that was literally the one getaway in the year that they got. So they like really valued it. And still, even when we were down there, they're doing the excursions for us and all this stuff. So it's like every aspect of life was, they sacrificed for us. And it's, you don't realize it until, like, when you do realize it, it's like the level of appreciation and love I have for my family is like for giving us those traveling opportunities. Like I speak with people and they don't have these opportunities. And it's, I feel very fortunate whenever I have those conversations with people.
100%. It definitely does shape you. And when you look back, it gives you a grateful heart for everything that they did 100%. Sacrifice.
Yeah.
You studied and lived abroad. What did that season teach you about the world, about yourself, and maybe a bit about how business is done globally? Like, did you notice any cross-cultural differences, and did you come back and go, oh my gosh, it's so different here?
Yeah, there's like reverse culture shock coming back to some degree. One of my favorite classes I took in university was cross-cultural communications.
Me too. I did it in my MBA. It was my favorite.
It's just such a cool, I was like excited to go to, so excited to go to class. The professor made it super fun too. I have friends all over the world now that I'm like so thankful for. Chile, definitely, growing up in a small town, there's positives. Like, I have a very tight knit group. There's also negatives. I had a very small view of how the world actually was.
Yeah.
And I went to school in Ottawa. Ottawa's a very liberal, open city. So that was kind of eye-opening for me, coming from Port Perry to Ottawa, seeing ethnicity, seeing all of that. But then being in Chile and hearing people's stories from all around the world and realizing that like we are all just the same. We grow up differently. We have different cultures, but that was like I remember this moment of like sitting, I think it was probably like 15 people, friends that I'd met in Chile, and every single person at the table was from a different country. And I was like, when am I ever going to get this opportunity?
So cool.
Again, it's so unique, and I'm still in touch with all of them. It opened my mind. It also allowed me to just take a deep breath when things get stressful and realize like, it's not that serious. People are awesome. And at the end of the day, like, that's what I'm going to try to fall back on is the fact that, people are great and humanity is awesome.
Yeah.
And that 12 to 18 months abroad, like it really gave me that. And I think about it every single day today.
No, I love that you just shared that. I can definitely relate because I did my master's in Switzerland, and that is interesting that your favorite class was actually mine.
Yeah.
Learning how different the cultures are. I learned during that I was about to marry the most direct culture in the world. My husband's Swiss.
Okay.
And Swiss and German there's like a scale of direct cultures in communication and business, and they're right at the top. I don't know if you knew that or studied that in your...
There was I remember the one thing I always remember, my professor was Chinese. So he was like, he loved talking about like how business cards are handed over. And like, we focused a lot on Chinese culture.
Okay.
But I would say like, it has actually played a part in my business. The GTA is a very diverse area. There's a lot of diversity in agents. There's a lot of diversity in my clients. So understanding how cultures can make decisions in negotiations, how they negotiate is actually a skill that I really value because it allows you to not take things personally in some cases, and maybe just like you hear the saying of like, put yourself in someone else's shoes.
Yeah.
Well, when you understand like the root culture of it, I feel like you understand them even more because you've got them from a deeper perspective. You're not just seeing it from the outside. So I like that class was, and I know it's like, there's so many other classes in university. I can't even tell you the titles of them, but that class I remember it's the only textbook I have. I kept because I was like, I'm going to go back to this one day. It'll probably be funny to look back on.
I wonder
50
if we
years
have the
from
same
now
textbook.
too. We might.
It's like a big, thick green one.
It's a green one. I was just going to say it's a big, thick green one. Yeah.
What a great course.
I'll
Look
bring
at
it
that.
in.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. With your entrepreneurial hustle, I saw and learned that at 22, you actually jumped into an entrepreneurial endeavor with your mom.
Yes.
So what was it like building and managing 15 restaurants together?
Yes. It was quite intense. That was the first time I learned what imposter syndrome was because I was fresh out of university. My mom just started this venture called Copper Branch. It was a vegan fast food franchise from Quebec that she was taking on the Ontario component. So we opened these restaurants, we franchised them. So we were managing franchisees. It was a insane time. I was literally fresh out of school dealing with people's like all of their money going into this investment. And, I cared so much about that job and I really like loved what we did, but my mom and I really had a good thing going. Like I felt like I hit the ground running in that job and it came so naturally to me. And really the only reason why I left that industry was, with family run business, I valued my personal time with my mom so much more than my work time.
Yeah.
And the work time it's hard. Running a business is difficult. Running a restaurant with family can be, in my eyes and maybe my biased opinion, even more difficult because there's just so many things. It takes away so much time from your family. So
it does. Yeah. There's no stop button.
Yeah.
It just goes all the time.
Yeah. But, oh my gosh, like stuff in my business today, I still apply from what I learned when I was 22 doing that. And I had no idea I was going into that. I just finished university, needed money. Said, Mom, could I just work at the restaurant? And that's how I started. I just was working at the restaurant and then it just snowballed. And I think we opened, I want to say 6 in the first year, 2 years. And that was like, wow, we're really doing this.
Incredible. So what did that chapter teach you? If there was one thing you could pick out and say, I still apply this or I learned that, what would that be?
I would say my ability to manage like, whether it be like negative conversations or people like yelling, people like conflict resolution is probably the one thing I got from that the most. Working with the public is one thing. Working with food too is another. I feel like I have a good ability to take a step back, and really de-escalate a situation and, not let it snowball and get out of control. Because just one simple gesture can put out a fire, especially in a restaurant. And when you learn that skill, it's like, okay, like it is this easy. People are always going to be upset. People are always going to have an opinion about your food and your restaurant, but control what you can control. And
was there a moment from the restaurant world that changed you, like a lesson or a challenge or a turning point?
Well, I'd say the biggest turning point was the fact that I knew I needed to leave the family business, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. So that was a very mentally challenging time in my life, because I felt like I didn't realize at that time that 4 years in restaurant management it's an advancement of your career. I viewed it as a step back, leaving the restaurants, and now I have to start over again.
Yeah.
Without understanding that the next career just added on to what I've already been building, and real estate has been doing that as well. I went from 2 very different jobs. I went from restaurant management to commercial banking.
Wow.
And commercial banking, I had an in with my brother Connor works for BDC. I did a minor in finance as well. So that's what I intended on going into post university. So that was like my big moment, I thought. Getting my job, my corporate job, all that stuff. And I loved it. Like I really did.
Yeah.
But I just knew after 3 years, I needed to do something different.
Time to move on.
Yeah.
Too bad I didn't know about your brother. We just were just about to firm up on a property in Barrie for our Barrie
really?
office. Yeah, big
he's
commercial
in Windsor.
space. I guess they can deal with stuff.
If you need a connection at BDC, let me know. I'm still very well connected with all of them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The negotiation skills that you learned, whether that was in the restaurants or in your commercial days or early in real estate, how did that skill set from learning it in 3 different arenas help you shape your ability to read people and make decisions under pressure?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just such an important skill that really just gives you such great insight into, like, I would say the 3 different industries that I've had have given 3 different perspectives as well. Like I've had customers at Copper Branch where there's really not so much negotiating, like it's more just service, right? In this case. But then the real negotiating on behalf of my clients I got from my commercial banking days. And I realized at that point that was a different skill. So there's different, components of negotiating. The 3 industries that I've been in have been really fantastic for showing me just the different ways or how a negotiation is perceived in those industries. I don't know if that helped answer.
No,
or
it
if that
does.
answered,
It does, because it's unique, because you learned it from a service perspective where you were also, I think, selling franchises to families.
Yeah,
And then,
we were.
the commercial perspective, which is completely different, and now you're negotiating on behalf of your buyers and sellers.
Yeah.
So there's so many different layers, but I think each one sort of transforms the way you handle different things and gives you different perspectives.
Those are the words I was looking for.
Okay. I summed it up. You moved into commercial financing with BDC. What drew you to that path? You said you always wanted a corporate job.
Yeah, I always wanted that corporate job, that feeling of having the title. And I went into finance. That was, to me, I thought okay, finance, banking, put them. If I did it in university, I'm gonna love it outside. I really loved that job. What drew me to the BDC was the structure. They're so structured. Everything has a policy, a place, and I loved that about that company. They were very organized with that. And I'd say that drive, that going down to Front and Bay in Toronto, that's what drove me to that job. It was very status and image, as opposed to what I actually wanted. But I did like the job. It taught me a lot. It's also the timing of it was weird. I became an account manager about 3 months after the global pandemic. So I'm dealing with people in like a very vulnerable state where they were about to lose their business. And so it was very difficult. I feel like I didn't get the actual like true BDC account manager experience. But just having like that responsibility and everything that's what drove me. And also like wearing a suit to Front and Bay was kind of cool when I was 24 or whatever.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It was obviously a defining period for so many, the pandemic. I mean, real estate, we didn't know what would happen. We took a huge risk in building this place out. It was a 14,000 square foot vacant space. And I was like, is anyone ever going to come back here?
It's crazy.
So I would just love to hear your perspective of helping hundreds of businesses survive in one of the most uncertain economic times that we've ever seen.
I still have clients to this day that I'm very good friends with because, you know, they put the credit on me. It's not all me, but I mean, it was very difficult. There were days that were, you know, we're going into the late hours of the night, and I'm talking like early hours in the morning. I'm talking with an underwriter of the bank to try to get a deal done. Like that's never happened. Everyone knows the term banker hours, right? 9 to 5 is typical. So it was very atypical. Oh my gosh, the remembering of phone calls. That's all I can remember. It's just like 11 p.m. phone calls, people crying, angry with me, maybe all the above, taking it out on me because I'm the best, the next thing, right? But oh my gosh, the rewarding feeling I have from people saying like, you literally just saved my marriage, you saved my family, you saved my business.
Wow.
Like that was so much fire to keep going. But that was a very hard time. Like my portfolio was about 150 clients. So unfortunately, some of them didn't make it, and that's the reality of the pandemic. A lot of them did, and I was fortunate to work in tech, where my portfolio was tech, so that we were actually like borderline like top of the tech bubble at that point. So we were dumping a lot of money into tech companies.
Yeah.
So my guys did quite well. They got their money and they were okay, but that was there are probably some skills, some things about myself right now that I don't know yet that
unique abilities that you just naturally do that you're like, I haven't downloaded those things yet.
And like what that pandemic like shaped those, you know, skills to be. That was a very, very hard time. It was a hard time on everyone, but I really felt it. Like I felt like I had the responsibility of 150 businesses on my back, and at the same time I did, and it's
at a quite young age.
Yeah, and that's my second time of feeling imposter syndrome, because I have people telling me, you know, what is a 25-year-old kid gonna do for me? And it's like, you know, you don't know. You don't know me. I'll get it done. Yeah. And we did.
To you with that. I feel that often. And then I look at different things and I'm like, that's okay. It's all good. I can handle this.
Yeah. Like if I can handle that, I feel like I can handle anything coming up in my future career, because I mean, that was as unprecedented as it gets.
Yeah. Was there a particular business owner or moment that stayed with you? Like one story where you don't have to share who it was, or something that made you realize the impact that you were making?
There was quite a few. Like I would say there's one, I won't name drop him or the business, but yeah, I had a phone call come in at about 11 p.m. one night, and I thought there was no one there. I picked it up and I'm saying hello, and eventually he started talking, but he was so choked up and crying because on the Monday he had phoned me saying he's going to lose his house and his business and everything, and on the Friday we had the loan dispersed to his account. Wow. So in a 5-day period, which that loan would have taken on average 3 to 4 weeks to process, but I remember just having the feeling of like, I have so much urgency inside of me. This needs to get done. It's going to go away. It's not going to be like this forever. I didn't think it was going to last 3 years, but I just think it was going to be 2 weeks. So I'm thinking, okay, work hard for 2 weeks. But no, that phone call, like just the words he shared with me, and just like, I realized at that point, I'm like, wow, you can make a serious impact in people's lives by simply just caring about them, or in this case, their file. And, you know, I've really like taken that in as kind of my theme, my mantra for work. And it's just to care like that. 'Cause that's when you do, you will get those results, and you will leave that impact on people. And that's what lasts forever.
Yeah, really.
Like, I will always remember that phone call, and I'm sure he will too.
Oh, that's incredible. Thank you for sharing it.
Yeah.
So let's go fast forward into entering real estate. Other than the stress of working till 2 a.m., what made you decide? Yeah, real estate's nothing.
Yeah, no,
Like,
nothing.
you mean
Oh,
there's a time frame we get to actually handle offers in? What made you transition into real estate? And yeah, tell me a bit about that decision-making process.
It's actually a pretty cool story, I would say. My sister-in-law is in real estate in Windsor. She's like such a go-getter, such a hard worker, great work ethic. I've always like, she's been in our family for a really long time too. I've always admired like the fact, and she also does very well. You know, her and my brother do, and I always admired their lifestyle. They're 4 years older. So I remember talking with her one day, and she said to me, like, you know, I think you would do so well in real estate. Like, have you ever thought of joining? So there's a brief period of time where I actually was going to move to Windsor and start a team join my sister-in-law's team. But I didn't want to do that. I like Durham. I like being here with my family. I wanted to be here. So, I mean, that conversation lasted 7 years. Like, I was talking about real estate for years. In the restaurants, I was talking about it. BDC, I was talking about it. And then it came around time to buying my first house with a friend of mine. And I asked Steph to help me. And she said she couldn't because she's in Windsor. But she met someone who at a conference in Niagara who could, and that was David Paterson.
Wow.
She's like, he's got the same last name as us. Like,
It'll work.
It'll work. He's a good guy. You'll.
That's amazing.
You know, I credit a lot of that, like me joining real estate, to David too, because David sat down with me years, always open to having a conversation with me about, you know, and I would call him like randomly, just being like, I'm having another thought about switching into real estate, and he would sit there and talk with me. So
I love that.
A big part of it for me was like, I needed to make sure, because I didn't want that same feeling from when I went from restaurants to commercial banking of like starting over.
Yeah.
I really didn't want that again. And I had built such a great team at BDC that I knew I needed something like that in my next job. So Dave was a very easy option for me. Like, him and I get along so well, and we'd have a good thing going. And that was about 3 years ago.
That's incredible.
We a lot of credit goes to my sister-in-law and to Dave.
You took the leap of faith.
Yeah.
How does your background in the global environment that you've experienced with education, and then coming back and basically being a mini entrepreneur alongside your mom at a very young age, combined with your extensive, I would say it's just like one of the most insane times to be involved in business and commercial financing.
100%, yeah.
So all of that together, it's like this loop of expertise that you learned. People probably look at you and go, okay, well, he's new in real estate or whatever. Not anymore, but at the beginning. And they don't know that you're this secret weapon with, like, they just don't know, right?
Yeah.
So how does that work when you're dealing with or communicating to clients? Like, do you have a certain side that shows up?
Yeah,
Or
I
both?
can blend in well with whoever I'm in front of. Like,
Yeah,
I'll
could
just
see
mirror the attitude, the, you know, everything. But no, I feel like I'm very like fortunate to have that too, to be able to like cater to different people. And I think when I'm who I am, people, and if people ask questions about my background, like, I don't know. I'm not so open to talk about myself with clients. Maybe they don't know
Now
so
they're
much
all
about
gonna
my
know.
background. I know now they will.
Now everyone's going to know.
But I just try and show up for my clients at the end of the day. And that's it. If they see the financing side of me, because, call me a math guy. I love my numbers. So if you need me to be the numbers person, I'm going to be that. I've also, I feel like I have a lot of compassion and empathy, and I could be there in that moment too. So I think those skills just maybe naturally come out and speak, and I don't necessarily need to back it up, say, with my
just shows
financing or anything like that. Yeah.
Now I know on the ALC next year, and for those who don't know what ALC means, because we're speaking KW lingo, Agent Leadership Council, for people not with Keller Williams, it's a body of agents, and Trevor's going to be on that. So now I know who's going to be like our finance chair for sure.
Need a spreadsheet? Call me.
We're going to be doing some hard math.
I love it.
So Heather, who's our CFO, she's like, Jamie, just do not touch the spreadsheets.
Okay, I won't touch other spreadsheets.
No, not you. To me, because I play with it, and then
you can't touch spreadsheets.
No,
and
but
the
you
master
can help me
behind the
analyze
spreadsheets.
them now.
Yes, I will.
I'm going to bring you right in.
Let's do it. I love it. Financial
Amazing.
statements. It'll be
good.
Yeah, bring me back to my days.
What do you think your superpower is as an agent, now that you've been doing this and doing it very successfully? What's your superpower?
I'm just not afraid to pick up the phone, to do anything. I'm not afraid of what an agent's perspective is going to be on me in a transaction. Like, I'm always client thinking, and like I feel like everyone should have this, but I will not, like, if I see a task or something that needs to happen, my urgency is there. It's
High
getting
urgency.
done.
Awesome.
High urgency superpower.
So I don't think it's necessarily about hearing people describe you a certain way. It's clear in what you've shared so far that you're both kind and steady and deeply committed to anything that you do. Where does that come from?
My mom, for sure.
Okay.
Like, both of my parents are very, very kind, but like, ask anyone who's met my mom, they'll tell you that. Like, she's such a big role model and inspiration for me in business, in life, in everything. Like, even on Saturday, my fiance's friend, which I can say that now.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
I was very excited to hear that outcome.
We went out for lunch after, and Steph's friend was there, and she was talking with my mom, and my mom was saying how every Thursday she still meets with her friends, and that's their thing. And it's just like even for Steph's friend Kayla to hear that, like, it was just like that one, and I was like, that's just one little thing that, like, the dedication from my mom, like, that's just one side of it. But I don't know, it's like, the kindness, it comes from the fact that I also grew up with really amazing people. Like, my friend group I'm still friends with them 25 years later. They're my best friends. Like, I don't know. I was surrounded by really great people my whole life. Like, I never really saw that hate or that, that.
You had a great group of people.
I really did.
Great parents.
Like my direct family's awesome. Indirect family's amazing. My parents' friends are awesome. My friends are great. My brothers I get along with. Like, I really just don't.
So it can only flow out of you. The same that you got.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you can, I don't know how if you have my mom and dad as parents, I just don't know how you can't have some of that. They're just two of the most amazing people.
I love that. So give me because I know that there's a variety of people watching, and there's parents out there. So give me an example of, let's say, little Trevor's 8. What did your day look like?
8.
You're in grade 2 or 3, and your mom's working her corporate job. So how did she and your father give you that stable, steady kindness, love, and I guess warmth all at the same time?
Yeah. My gosh, if I wish I knew the answer to that, because then I
You
could
don't
just
remember
apply
when
it.
you were
No, well, I don't know about that either. But no, I mean, like, I just remember no worries. There was nothing. Like, I just had such a happy childhood, and my parents never put anything on us. Like, we were always at the forefront of everything.
Yeah.
So obviously not teetering towards like the spoiled side, we also learned that you have to work for what you have. We all had jobs when we were 16. We waited until we had jobs, until we got our first phone. We had curfew. Like, there
were rules
and structure, but the environment that my parents had us in allowed us to like not even really care about the rules. And now looking back, I'm like, the rules are so important, and because it builds that respect for your parents, right? Like, I have so much respect for my
100%.
parents, because I know that they have the same respect for us.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. What matters most to you when you're working with a client?
I really want to get along with them, to be honest. Like, I think it's so fun when you're working with someone who you can just have a good time with or be yourself around. It's definitely not the most important, and I have a lot of clients who aren't like me, but I feel like it's something that I try to surround myself with people who are, maybe not like me, but
You'll get along with
I can
them.
get along with. I can get along with a lot of people too. But no, I would say, like, I feel like that's important.
Outside of work, we're going to flip to the athletic side, because in a lot of conversations, and I just said this actually, what I found with high performers, high achievers, is that they've come from a background where as a child they played sports or were athletic.
100%.
I'm just finding there's such, gosh, I don't even want to use a word. I'm like, does that make sense? Where there's overlap, like you're good with athletics and your business is successful. It's just consistently a theme.
I don't think it's a coincidence for these
No, I don't think so
cases.
either.
I think I had a grade 8 basketball coach who was so hard on me. But we had 6:30 a.m. practices. We were in grade 8. Like, so that's actually what my younger Trevor was doing, playing a lot of basketball for my coach. And I actually, if, I don't know if he would ever, maybe I'll send this to him, but, that'll, like, him alone gave me so much discipline. Like, he just did not accept anything but 100%. And we were like 12, but we also were
militant.
We were from Port Perry, little tiny kids who were not supposed to be good basketball players. He took us to the Elite 8 finals of Ontario that year. We're playing against Pickering, Ajax. We were the outliers. And
I love that.
It's all because, and I love telling that story because it's like, he was an amazing teacher at discipline and integrity. So I think sports really teach that in kids. It's not the only way you can get it. I think like clubs, extracurriculars in general give you that kind of, that sense of loyalty and team. But I really hope my kids love sports, because I would love to just put them in every sport possible.
Yeah.
And have them find their ways and have them, without even realizing it, develop those skills.
Yeah. No, it's pretty awesome to watch. One of my favorite things with my kids is seeing them become passionate about something and then go all out. I love it.
That's so cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
So how do these passions, like from sports, parallel in the way that you now show up in business? What skills do you feel like you took from, whether it was grade 8 or other athletic things that you did, overlap? Are there certain skills?
Yeah, totally. From sports.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Like, how I show up today, like, I'm passionate about everything. I mean, I like, if you're working on something, and especially if you're representing someone else, like, I just think you have to give it your all. And I think of it, I reflect of it, or I think of it like this, like if my client was a team and I'm coming in wearing their jersey and writing an offer as a game, like I'm giving it my all,
Yeah.
right? I'm giving
Like
it my
it's your
100%
house.
because I'm representing that team. And that was definitely engraved at a young age through sports. And a lot of the sports I did were team sports too. Like I didn't do a lot of individuals. I think that is a whole different level of discipline and, integrity in itself. But it's, like it has taught me so many things. It's kept me passionate, I would say. But yeah.
Okay. If we were sitting here a year from now, what would we be celebrating?
Probably my wedding.
Awesome.
I would say, next year's my 3rd year in real estate. Every year we've gotten better. So maybe we're celebrating the 4th year of getting better and doing better every year. I'm excited to see what we have. Like I genuinely don't know the answer to that question because, Dave and I we've had a really great year. We're so fortunate and we have really good traction going into 2026. So I'm excited and
I'm excited for you. And so many exciting things.
I know it's gonna be exciting and
Big business growth. You're going to get married.
yeah,
It's going to be a good chat in a year.
it's gonna be a good chat.
What are some of the challenges or puzzles or things either in your business or personal life that you're trying to solve that if I have a conversation with someone or if I'm networking and I'm like, oh my gosh, you got to talk to Trevor because he's trying to solve this riddle, what would it be?
I would say time management and prioritizing what's important in life. It's such an important skill, and I realize that I'm not very good at it. I can either get hung up on the wrong things, but I think about it all the time. I think about how I feel like I don't have any time right now, and I don't have kids. And that's probably a slap in the face to people watching who have kids. And I'm sorry, but
I have kids, so
yes,
I hear you.
I know.
And I do have something to comment after if you're open to it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, it's not advice for you because you don't have kids yet, but just a thought that's coming that I want to share.
Sure. Yeah. But like to me, like I always had this thought in my head, if I feel like this now, what am I going to feel like when I have kids? And am I going to be able to sustain what I'm doing right now? So and I don't necessarily know how I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I would maybe, and that's why I love joining ALC because, and being around this brokerage is just people keep you in line too.
Yeah.
So we'll call you out. Right. And yeah, I think, that's going to be the only thing I need in my life is just a work-life balance because I want for my kids what my parents gave to me and for them to never, I could not name a time where my mom and dad were not in the crowd of our games and coaching our games. Like they just I just want that so bad.
Well, it warms my heart to hear this because one of the things as a mom of 4, which is like insane. I'm like, how did I have 4 kids? How am I still here? I'm extremely purposeful around that because they're only young for so long. And I absolutely have a passion for real estate and running these businesses, but I also have to take care of myself in between it all. And so one of the pieces with goals and my calendar is I'm extremely structured and I don't really like structure, so it's hard for me. But I am on purpose. If my son has to travel for baseball, I will block those days and I will take that time. When I had my 4th child, I decided I don't care what other people's opinion are of my maternity time. I'm taking it. And it was nasty. It was really nasty, but it's time that I won't get back.
100%.
And so you have to have clear boundaries and you have to have a really clear value outline of what's important to you. So with your wedding coming up, and one of the things that is so important to me is my husband and my marriage. So we basically 3 to 4 times a month go Thursdays for dinner. It is like our locked and loaded date night. No kids come. That's for us. And now that I don't have kids who need me like infants, I'm really purposeful that if I am traveling for work, I will either bring a nanny and one child so that they get an experience with me, or I'll bring my husband so that we do something tacked on to that trip. And it's all a business write-off, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's the other nice part.
So there are ways and strategies, but you've got to get really clear on your values, and you have to be okay with people not being okay with it.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm not at that point. Like I don't know how to, it's not that I don't know how to value my time, but maybe that is how exactly what I'm
You'll start to feel like, okay, now that I'm in this walk of life, I've got more pressure to make decisions based on that.
Yeah. Everyone always says it changes immediately when you have kids too,
Yeah.
right? So it's not as, maybe I'm worrying about things that are
Probably.
non-existent and won't be existent when we have kids, but it's important to me because it's, all the questions for the most part that we've gone over today, like it's come back to one thing. It's like, it's the importance of like family, love, like managing yourself, showing up for people. Like
Totally.
you can't do that unless you've managed your time properly. And so yeah, it's hands down the most important thing I'm trying to get better at. And
I think it's going to naturally flow out of you because you learned it by seeing it at such a young age.
Yeah.
Like, I just think you're going to be able to just click and it will happen because you have a formula as a child that you witnessed.
Yeah.
And you know that for you, that's a non-negotiable. So I don't think you'll have to learn it. It might just be new habits.
Yeah. And I look forward to that too. It's going to be great. Right now, there's just a lot of change, right? And at this period of time in your life. So it's like, thinking about even the question of like thinking of what the conversation is going to look like a year from now. I'm like, oh my gosh, because every year, if I looked back from November 24, 23, like I was probably in a different period mindset. Like I feel like there's just been so much change and growth in the last 2 to 3 years alone, and probably for the next 2 to 3 more years too.
Which is exciting.
Yeah.
Nothing
really
wrong
exciting.
with that. If there was something that you were stuck on, I guess we just discussed your calendar piece, but it doesn't seem that it's really needing to be a huge focus for you right now.
Yeah.
But if there was anything else that you were stuck on in your business or something that comes up in the next year, I just want you to be open to saying, hey, do you know anyone in this area that I could learn from? Whether it's AI, social media, goal setting, whatever. There's a lot of people that I get to speak with, and I think you're incredible. So I want to make sure you can tap in and be like, hey, I'd love to find out about this, and then I'll connect you to someone.
I love that. Thank you.
If you could say, and I guess we just sort of went over this, the values that remain at the center of who you are and that you look at really deeply embedding into your future, what would those be? And if you just want to pick like 1 or 2 key values.
I would say integrity is one, like so important and just defines your character, in my opinion. And I would say family. I mean, family is very important to me, and I want that. I want to just continue the tradition of that.
Amazing. Is there anything that we haven't touched on or that I haven't asked you about today that you feel like we need to talk about or go over?
You know what? I really enjoyed this. I think it was very fun. And no,
We covered it all.
I feel like I said, I don't know what else more to say about me, but no, I think this was really fun and I had a really good time.
Awesome. Okay, so before we wrap up, how can people find out about you? What's your Instagram handle, website, or best place for people to connect?
Yes, Instagram at Trevor Paterson Real Estate. Facebook is the same, facebook.com/Trevor Paterson Real Estate. Those are the only 2 that I use.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you for coming.
Thanks, Jamie.
And I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.